Okay, hi YouTube. So I'm here today with my friend Mel, and Mel pissed me off the other day, and look at him now.
Kick the shit out of him.
Yeah, don't mess with Polly. No, Mel got into a motorcycle accident, so I thought we'd come over to his place and talk to him for a little bit. He can kind of tell you what happened. Motorcycle accidents happen out here a lot. A lot of guys get severely injured because they're not wearing the proper gear or helmets. But anyway, Mel's going to tell you his story. So, Mel, what happened?
Well, I had driven over to Buy-O-One to shoot some video.
Buy-O-One's about 2 hours from here.
And I got a late start leaving, and I left about 5 o'clock. 6:30, it started getting dark. And I had thought 15 minutes prior to that I should get a hotel. Listen to your first instincts. I had nowhere to be. There was no reason for me to be driving out in the dark. But anyway, I was driving about 40 kilometers per hour.
That's about 30 miles per hour.
And I did not see this guy. It seemed like he came out of nowhere. He was pushing a bicycle tricycle. That's one with no engine on it, no lights on it. And by the time I saw the guy, he wasn't more than 5 feet away from me. I could have stuck my hand out, it seemed like, and slapped him in the face. If I would have kept going, I would have killed the man. And I immediately dumped the bike, and I dumped it on top of myself. I broke a previously injured leg at the kneecap, crushed the kneecap, broke 3 ribs on my right side, and my collarbone here on the right side.
Now it just got dark, right?
It had just got dark. Yeah.
Okay. Driving out here in the Philippines, at least in Dumaguete, I can't talk for other islands. Really, really tough for me. My vision's probably 50% of what it used to be. My reflexes are at about 20%. My hearing's at about 40%. I think we can all admit that I'm pretty much a wreck. So anyway,
we're in the same boat.
But the thing is that, you know, you're used to driving in America or Europe or Australia or wherever you're watching this from. Out here, there are no street lights. It's just a 2-lane highway where he's talking about. It's pitted with potholes. There's a stray dog going to run out in front of you. I don't want to exaggerate, but I'd say 20% of the motor vehicles that are on the road with you don't have any lights whatsoever, front or rear. And it's just, you know, you've got to constantly be on your toes out here. And so I try to keep my driving to daytime only. I'll drive home at night if I have to. If I'm out, I have found that if I come home late at night, like 10 or 11 o'clock, it's not nearly as bad because there's hardly any traffic out there. But when you're dodging stray dogs and kids and tricycles and jeepneys and you name it, it's out there. But that's my little safety warning for this video. So anyway, you didn't crash into the guy. Did you hit the guy?
No. Well, he spent overnight in the hospital, so I must have had some kind of contact.
So what happened was you're buzzing along about 40 clicks. Out of nowhere, this guy kind of appears because he's not lit up, right?
Yes.
And he's pushing a push cart.
Yes.
Type of thing, bicycle deal that they have out here. And you dropped the bike the minute you saw the guy because you knew that there's no way to avoid him.
Yes.
So it's either plow into him and kill him or drop the bike.
Yes.
And you dropped the bike.
Yes.
And then you broke your leg.
Broke my leg at the top of the knee and also shattered the kneecap.
Okay, and you cracked some ribs?
3 ribs cracked and collarbone broken.
You were wearing a helmet?
Yes.
You still got a black eye?
Yes.
If you had not worn a helmet?
I'd be dead.
In the story?
Yes.
Okay, so this guy, he did get clipped by something, but you don't remember?
No, I don't.
Okay, so the police came and you got driven to the hospital, but you didn't get driven in an ambulance.
Most horrible ride I've ever had in my life. Police got there within about 5 minutes, and they did not wait for an ambulance. They picked me up, threw me in the back of a paddy wagon, and I'm leaning up against the back of the paddy wagon on this side where all the crushed ribs are. One guy holding my leg, not with two hands, just one hand at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I thought I was honestly going to die before I got to the hospital. I never screamed so much in my life.
How long was the ride? You know, do you have any recollection?
Seems like it was a good 15 minutes, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't longer than that.
Well, weren't you in Chaton?
Yes.
That's an hour away.
Yeah.
So your 15-minute ride was really an hour. So basically what they did was they had the paddy wagon there, and they saw that he was critical, and they chucked his ass in the back, broken legs and all, and drove him into the hospital, which at the end of the day is better than laying in the street.
Yes.
So you got into the hospital. Do you have much recollection of arriving, or are you still?
Yeah, I never went out. I never passed out, and they put me in a hallway for 2 days and didn't touch me.
Yeah, here in the Philippines, when you're in the hospital, if you don't pay, you just die or suffer or lay there. You had to pony up what, $1,000?
$50,000.
So that's $1,000
and
up front.
That paid the X-rays and determination that I needed to be operated on.
What was the delay for 2 days? Was that over money?
Money.
So you couldn't. Okay, so if I'm gonna inject here, and if I'm wrong, correct me. But because I don't know the story, but I'm gonna guess right here, right now, that he got taken to the hospital, didn't have any form of communication with the outside world, and basically laid there till you could get a hold of somebody.
Yes. Charlie, the man that was just here, he's an angel sent by God. I did remember Charlie's phone number. I had it in my phone. And a policeman was kind enough to call the police department up here in Valencia and came out to the compound and told Charlie that I was in the hospital and needed help.
So that's where the 2 days came from.
Yes.
Laying in the hallway.
Yes.
So you laid in the hallway without any medication. I'm going to assume without any food or water.
With nothing.
Did they not give you a drink of water?
Nothing.
2 days.
Yes.
Okay.
And Charlie asked them why I was in the hallway, and their statement was, "This is ICU," and it means that they can see you. After Charlie gave him the initial payment, they started the X-rays and started diagnosing me. Told me that they were going to have to operate on this leg, and it took them 2 days to plan the operation and the procedure that they were going to go through.
Okay, so at this point, once Charlie paid the money for you, did you get into a room?
Yeah, I was in a room with probably 10 other people.
Were they giving you any kind of pain meds?
Yes, they had started giving me pain meds and antibiotics.
And was Charlie bringing you food?
I had a friend in the hospital here. You can't go to the hospital by yourself because they don't take care of you the way they do in America. Your food is bought by your friend. Medicines are bought by your friend. You basically need a caregiver to stay with you in the hospital to help you urinate. The doctor comes in, sees you, does the operation. They have nurses like they have in America, but they don't have what we call a candy striper or anything like that. You need to have someone with you when you're in the hospital.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I didn't get to see Mel when he was in the hospital. I couldn't find a parking place. I couldn't believe that. But I've had other friends in the hospital, Filipinas, and if you're in the hospital and they write you a prescription, you have to have somebody go to the pharmacy and get the prescription for you. Think triage unit. Think MASH. Okay, there's nobody that comes along with a tray at noon and you get to eat your Jello. Okay, it just doesn't happen here. So someone's got to bring you food. Someone's got to go get your medicine. Someone's got to help you, because all they're doing is basically putting you in a bed, pumping you with an IV once you get going and
Yes.
putting you on the schedule.
Yeah.
And I guess if you got to get an X-ray or something, they'll actually take you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because when somebody else was hurt, I had to walk them over the X-ray, but that's another story. All right. So at the end of the day, let's kind of sum this up. You got into an accident. You were coming home at night, and you knew you shouldn't, but you did it anyway.
Yes.
Here's the result. Okay. You were wearing protective. Were you wearing long pants or were you wearing shorts?
Shorts.
Shorts. Okay. Any long trip that you take on a bike, actually every trip, but even especially on a long trip, my friendly advice is to wear jeans and a jacket and a helmet and take plenty of stops. You know, at my age, if I was 34 years old, I could circle the island with one hand. But that ain't the case. I'm 64, and our vision is impaired, our hearing's impaired, our reflexes are not what they used to be, and it's kind of a setup for failure. And then when nightfall comes, now you're tired, and now you're just thinking about other things maybe, and this kind of shit happens. So kind of plan for the worst, hope for the best when you go on a long motorbike ride.
Yes.
Sage advice.
You're 100% right.
So you got into the hospital. It was 4 days later now that they're going to do surgery on you.
Yes.
And you were impressed with the surgeon.
I was.
Let's go into that. Let's get some good news here for a change.
I had some previous injuries in America, broke both legs, broke my back, pins and screws. When this doctor came in, he had the x-rays on his cell phone. He showed me the fracture, told me the exact procedure that he was going to use, and I knew that he knew what he was talking about from having a previous accident and the terminology that he used. The doctor was well trained, very communicative. I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I felt very confident with this doctor. And I'll say the same about the nurses. They knew their job.
Okay. So that was at Silliman University.
Yes.
And so, okay, so day 4 you have surgery. And then post-surgery, how long did you remain in the hospital?
Another 4 days.
8 days total.
Yes.
So you were in the hospital for 8 days. You had orthopedic surgeon, your drugs, your hospital, your doctor. What was the total tariff?
$160,000, which is approximately $3,500 in the U.S.
$3,500.
My previous collision, I was in the hospital 20 days in the United States, and the bill was $320,000.
Yeah.
This would have easily cost $150,000.
But it's kind of a miracle to me that you were 4 days without any kind of treatment.
Well,
and you got a broken friggin' leg.
I was ill prepared. You need to prepare yourself for anything that can happen. I'd been riding motorcycles for 45 years. I thought I was a good rider. An accident can happen to anybody at any time,
Yeah.
and you need to be prepared.
So you didn't have your phone when you went to the hospital?
No, I did
Okay,
not.
So there's the issue.
Yeah.
So here's what I think we should do. I just thought of this. I think that if you're in a collision, there's going to be a good chance you're going to lose half your shit. But if you're lucky, you've still got your wallet with you. So what do you think about this idea? In your wallet, you have a contact card. 5 names, 5 numbers.
You should, absolutely.
You know, good old school ink, good old school paper.
Yeah.
And I don't have that because I just thought of that. But I think that's a good thing to do. Just, you know, if no matter what, it doesn't have to be a motorcycle accident. It could be a heart attack. You know, you're at Lee Plaza and you fall down on the ground and they take you to the hospital. At least you can get to something. So, all right. So let's say you cracked your bike. You broke. And how long are you going to be convalescing here?
Doctor said it'd be 3 months before I could start walking again.
But you will be able to walk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, buddy. I'm going to wrap it up here. Anything you want to tell YouTube people?
Yeah. Set aside $250,000. Buy that PhilHealth insurance. I was as ill prepared for this accident as anybody could be. Anything can happen at any time. Have a way to take care of yourself financially. If it wasn't for Charlie Denton, I'd still be a prisoner in our hospital.
So 250 is $5,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5,000 American, have that stuffed away somewhere. I know a guy that's got that much stashed away in cash at his house, just for this exact reason. So, all right. So this, I guess, was our little heads up video. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Paul. I enjoyed
All
it.
right. Subscribe.